Tonight on KelizaForce,
we're talking about
The Walking Dead.
Enjoy.
Hey guys!
Hey guys.
So, as you might see, we don't really have anything behind us today.
We got no stuff.
So the reason for that is, if you've watched some of our previous videos, some of you may already know that we are in the process of moving. So we don't exactly have any furniture right now because we're kind of selling it all. So, yeah.
Yeah, we got no stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
It might sound a little different too because there's like a lot of reverb.
Yeah, he's been checking for the echo a lot. I'm just like.
But we are building a nice little spot for Atlanta. So.
Oh yes, we will
Trust
have
me.
a really great spot in Georgia when we get all settled. So
we got you hooked up.
I'm excited.
But anyway, as you saw in the cool intro, we're talking about
The Walking Dead.
Yay!
Oh my god. So okay, for those of you who know me or follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you know I'm such a huge Walking Dead fan. And the premiere starts, well, not the premiere. So, okay, if any of you guys follow The Walking Dead, at the end of season 10, because there was such a delay with the season finale, they actually added an extra 6 episodes to the season. So the premiere for that is tonight, and I'm so excited. Oh my god. Kevin's excited because this is the first time he actually gets to see a video or an episode with me that I haven't seen before.
I know, I'm excited to see her reactions and like what she does because she's kind of crazy about Walking Dead. So as you can tell.
Oh yeah, which we might add some of those reactions in here. Well, just let you know. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But okay, so I want to start with just like my sort of personal experience and history with the show. Because I'm obsessed with it. So okay, when I first discovered the show, I want to say I was maybe like 10 or something like that, and they were actually premiering the show in black and white. And, you know, I thought it was super cool, and this was sort of the age where I was still kind of scared of horror stuff, but like I was starting to get into it. So I started watching it, and it was the very first episode, and I remember seeing the scene where Rick is in the hospital, and he comes to the door where it says, "Don't open, dead inside." I'm just like, oh my god, this is so cool, but it's kind of creepy, especially with the black and white. It's like, oh my god, okay. But then this was also the age of where, you know, if you had those sort of like not the flat screen TVs, I didn't have the guide option on my TV, so I'm like, I have no idea what the show is called, what channel it's on. So after that, for a while, I kind of lost the show. I was like, okay, that was a cool episode, but I have no idea if it's a show, movie, what it was. I have no idea. Then, I want to say a couple months later, I saw the same episode in color, and it was on my mom's flat screen TV in the living room, and this time I had the guide, so I was like, yay, I can find out what it's called and what channel it's on. Oh my god, I was obsessed with it from right there. I think by that time season 2 was airing, so my mom sort of caught on with me, but you know, I was obsessed from day one. So I'm the true fan of the family, and mind you too, I converted my mom, my dad, and Kevin into watching the show. That's how much I like chime on all day and night about how much I love this show. Anyone who really knows me knows like I'm obsessed with it. I've converted a lot of people because I'm always talking about it. I'm just like, oh my god! Okay. So yeah, so then I stood with the show from then on. If I missed an episode, like, believe me, there was an extreme reason. Either like I was exhausted from school, or it was too late to watch it, I had a ton of homework, something like that. It was never like, oh, I just didn't watch the show. Like, that rarely happened. You can ask my mother. So then, when it came to when I started college, I was like, because, you know, me going to a very high standard performing arts school and me wanting to be an actor, I'm like, I want to be on the show. Like, I'm obsessed with it. By that point, I probably watched every season from 1 to 6, maybe like 4 or 5 to... I'm crazy. I have watched this show several times. When I rewatched it with him, because, you know, I was talking about it so much, he was interested. He's like, you know what, I think I want to give it a shot. I want to watch it. Yeah. That was probably like my 6th time watching every single episode from season 1 to season 7.
Yikes.
Yeah. But, you know, I feel like it's really interesting, not only from a fan perspective, But from an actor's perspective, you find new things in every episode, which I think is really, really cool. And after me going to college, I have a much bigger appreciation for, you know, all the actors, the producers, and the directors, literally every single person that works on the show, because I feel like the writing and the acting is so phenomenal. And, you know, what I love, you know, just a little quirky thing that I feel like a lot of people do, you know how when you're watching a movie or you're watching a TV show and you pause it, and sometimes like the picture will look really wacky and sometimes it will look good. This is one of those shows, and I feel like it's such a little thing, but I feel like for me it says a lot about it. No matter where, how, when I pause the show, it always looks amazing. And I feel like that's always the same thing with the acting and the writing. Like, I feel like there's never a moment of time where I'm like, oh, I don't believe these characters, or these characters suck, or whatever the case. Like, I'm always in love with every single aspect of the show. And, you know, I know a lot of people are out there like, oh, I don't like it, or oh, it got boring, or whatever. But I feel like this show has so many more strengths than people give it credit for, and I feel like it's, like, everything about it is just so amazing. Like, I have such an appreciation for it in more ways than one. But part of the reason I love it is also because, like, me being such a horror fanatic now, oh my god, like, I love the gore, I love all the death scenes, even though sometimes I'm really sad about them. Like, I don't know why, like, when Beth died, when Herschel died, when Glenn died, I kept rewatching the episodes despite the fact I would be sobbing so much. I'm like, why am I torturing myself? I know they're dead. Why am I gonna watch it again to cry all over again, like, if I'm seeing it for the first time? I don't know. I will say it's really funny, and if Mom, you're watching this, I know you're gonna laugh. When we saw Herschel's death, my mom literally was like, I think I need to call out of work to say a family member died, and I was just like, okay, it's not that serious. I'm like, I love the show too, but that's a little bit extreme. And I remember my aunt also said when Beth died, they were like, wow, I hope you guys cried that hard when, you know, I passed, because you guys are getting a little too carried away. I'm like, I'm sorry, when you get invested in the characters, you know, you're a little sad when they... So.
Yeah. So do you have any, like, favorite accents from the show, or?
Well, you know, okay, so for those of you that don't know, KJ and I sometimes will do a southern accent. I don't know how it came about, I really don't, but sometimes, every now and then, I feel like I sort of sound like Maggie a little bit. So I kind of like doing the southern a little bit for that reason, because, you know. And plus also, if you don't know, the show films in Georgia, so it's in the South.
That's right.
So it makes sense that a lot of them have southern accents. Yep. And, you know, even more reason why, if I want to be on the show, which I very much do, you know, anyone who works on the show that's watching this episode, they, you know, talk in a southern accent, so I need to work on it, and, you know.
Yes. We've been to the set of Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. So before we get to that, so I'm, again, major fan, and, like, there have been times where, so, okay, here's the extreme of my fandom of what I have been willing to do in the past to try and get as close to anything of the show as possible. So, okay, one, when I was in college, I made sure I bought a Walking Dead shirt, because I'm like, that's my favorite TV show. I need to have a freaking shirt. Like, that makes no sense for me to not have a shirt. Of course, I'm not wearing it because it's already packed. I know, I'm sorry. I'm such a disappointment to my fellow Walking Dead fans. I know, I'm sorry. But, okay, so after college, my first apartment here in LA, they actually had the premiere on Hollywood Boulevard by the Dolby Theater. And I had no idea this was even happening. My roommate was coming out of his job at Hard Rock, and he's like, Eliza, I think they're having the premiere for Walking Dead. I was like, what? I kid you not. I was literally walking to Taco Bell when he texted me this, which was like maybe a 10-15 minute walk away from my apartment. I got my food, ate on the walk back to my apartment. The second I finished, I freaking basically ran to Hollywood Boulevard, no jacket, no anything, and my roommate stops me, he's like, aren't you gonna be cold? I'm like, I don't freaking care, I need to go. So I got there, the premiere was going on, and I saw like all the actors, and I was like, oh my god. I was so happy. The only thing is, what really made me upset was, one, there was already a lot of people there. Two, what also made me mad, there were some of people there that had no idea who any of these actors were, and they were standing in front. I'm like, can you let an actual fan be in the front, please, so I can see what's going on?
Exactly.
Like, please, like.
Not this girl.
Okay.
So who did you see?
Oh my god. Okay, so I saw. Here, should I name them by their actor names or by their character names?
Just
Because I
do
feel
both.
like.
Yeah.
Okay, so
people can like to learn if they don't know.
Okay, so I saw Alana Snortland, who plays Tara. I almost forgot for a second, but I will say for her, I was so mad because she was a couple feet away from me, and for a while I was like, I don't want to call her by her character name, I want to call her by her actual name, and I completely forgot it, and then when she walked away is when I remembered it. I'm like, I hate myself so much right now because I wanted to say hi and I wanted a picture. But I saw Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl. I saw Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan, both of them at a distance, so I couldn't even get a picture from, you know, far away. I think I saw Dinah Guerrera. I know she was there. She plays Michonne, but she was also very much in the distance. Unfortunately, Andrew Lincoln, who plays Rick, was off the show by this time, so he wasn't there, and I was very upset about it because he was one of my favorite characters. I don't know if Melissa McBride, who plays Carol, was there. I honestly don't remember. Some of my favorite actors from the show, I think, were gone by then. And then, of course, they had some of the other villains on there, which unfortunately I don't remember their actual names. I'm so sorry. Believe me, okay, I try to keep up with, not just stalker level, but I try to keep up with all the actors because I feel like it's really important. And, you know, I started doing this before I got to AMDA, but even after, they're like, okay, if you like a show, or not even like a show, if you love a show and want to be on it, you need to know every single thing there is to know about that show. So even before that, like, I was following all these actors on here on social media pages, and then even after that, like, I found out other things that they were on, and I was like, oh my god, like, I saw this and I didn't realize they were in it. Or I would watch something on TV and it's like, oh my god, it's Daryl or it's Rosita or whoever, and I would get so excited because it's just like, oh my god, like, this is insane. But yeah, so I literally ran to the premiere. I was so excited. I literally stayed there until it was done. I even asked the security, I was like, are they gonna pass through, like, right in front of me at any point? Because I really want to, like, just say hi. And he's like, I don't think so, and I wanted to cry. No, but I think the part that really crushed my soul was Greg Nicotero, who not only produces and directs some of the episodes, but also does the amazing makeup on the show, walked right past me, and instead of, like, not screaming out his name, because he did, I don't want to yell in his ear, he walked right past me. I didn't, you know, be like, Greg, hi, can I take a picture or something? No, I literally was like, oh my god, that's Greg Nicotero. I'm like, what is wrong with you? I was so mad at myself, because I was like, I did nothing to try and get a picture, and that was one of the moments I really wanted one. Oh, but Robert Kirkman, who was one of the co-creators of the show, also was there. He also created the comic books, for those of you who don't know. Of course, I found it funny because he was the one person that didn't go into the premiere. I was like, okay. So also, okay, so there was one time where, you know, one of my coworkers at the job we worked at, the Pantages Theater here in Hollywood, one of my coworkers was like, oh yeah, I was at working at my other job, Bed Bath & Beyond, the other day, or Bed Bath & Hell, which I absolutely love when she says that. It's so funny. But she was like, yeah, Norman Reedus just walks in. I was like, what? She's like, oh yeah, Norman Reedus walks in and he's climbing up the ladder, and you're like, she's like, hun, you're gonna get me in trouble, like, that's my job. And he's like, oh, but she was like, he was super nice, and I was like, I live by that Bed Bath & Beyond, and I would have loved to see Norman Reedus. I was so upset. I literally told her, I'm like, I might show up at your job every here and there just to see if he comes back. But I didn't, because again, I'm not a stalker, but like, I really would love to see him and talk to him. It was very sad. But then also, the one thing that made me really happy that kind of came out of COVID, so every time Walking Dead panel goes to Comic-Con, I'm always so upset because I always find out the last minute, or I can't go because of school, or I just don't have enough money or no way to get there. this year, because Comic-Con went virtual, I actually got to go to Comic-Con. And I got to see the panel for the show, and Angela Kang was there, along with a lot of the actors, and I was just like, oh my god. And Chris Hardwick, you know, the host for Talking Dead, was there. Oh my god, I was so happy. I literally sat there, I was like, nobody talked to me, nobody bugged me. I'm in Comic-Con, I'm watching the Walking Dead panel, and I watched, I think, everything that had to do with The Walking Dead. Like, the other ones I didn't watch just because I was like, okay, I don't necessarily actually want to spend like 2 or 3 hours just sitting here watching this, but oh my god, I was so happy. I was talking about it on Instagram and Facebook, and I was really, really happy that I finally got to go to Comic-Con to see them, and I was like, literally, any year that I wanted to go to Comic-Con, it was just for Walking Dead. And this year I got to do that, so I was very excited. But yeah, so, oh my god, I was like, super excited about that. But then also, we did go to Georgia recently, or a couple months ago, and of course, the second that I'm like, oh my god, we're going to Georgia, every single fiber in my body's like, okay, we have to try to find Walking Dead. So, not only did we find the set, but anyone who's watched season 3 of The Governor with Andrea, my brain is fried, I'm so sorry. With Andrea, we actually were standing on the street of where the scenes of the town take place. I was like, oh my god.
It was pretty cool, I would say.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
It's just like a small little town.
Yeah.
Like, and the set is actually pretty big. Like, it takes like several like lots.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but the walls are there. Like, everything you see in the show is like real.
And it's funny because we didn't even realize it at first. Like, you were trying to look up like where specifically they film, and it was funny because he was looking it up, and he was like, we were like looking at the street and we were looking at the pictures. I was like, oh my god, we're sitting in front of freaking season 3 set right now. I was like, huh. And I might add in the video, not only did we get to see that, but we also got to walk on the train tracks that led to Terminus in season 5, and we got to see the outside of where Alexandria is. Oh my god, that's okay. For those of you again who don't know, that's where the main portion of the season, past couple seasons, have been taking place, along with the hilltop is inside of that set. And it was just like,
yeah, so the hilltop's like inside of actual Alexandria, but they make it look like it's separate.
Which from an actor's perspective, I was like, wait, how do they do that? Because it has this whole separate entrance and everything. So, you know, we're thinking as an actor, not just as a fan.
Exactly.
But oh my god, I was freaking out. And it's funny because, so we got to Morgan Street, which, you know, for my fans out there, should recognize that street from the show. So we were walking towards it, and then we're like, that's the opening to Alexandria. So we're walking just to see, like, how close we can get, but also we were like, you know, as long as we don't go inside, there was a security person there, so we're like, maybe we can ask them, like, where we can go to see, or if there's, like, a place we can go for pictures or something like that. But then, of course, the closer we got, at one point he was like, nope, go back, and we were like...
Yeah, we basically tried to crash the Alexandria walls and try to infiltrate the city. So
just a little.
Didn't work out this time, but maybe at some point.
Maybe. We just, you know, there's literally trespassing signs all around the perimeter, so we're not trying to get arrested or anything.
And by the way, fun fact, so we talked about Terminus.
Yes.
Terminus is actually the original name of Atlanta, the city of Atlanta. It was originally called Terminus because it was at the end of the train track going south. So they called it Terminus.
So I wonder if that played a factor in Terminus in the show.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, so, oh my god, that was amazing. I was freaking out. I'm surprised I didn't cry, to be completely honest, because, oh my god. And then we actually went to Nick and Norman's restaurant that's in the, you know, Governor Woodbury town.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
The food was pretty. The thing is, it's funny because, like, you go in and you're like, oh, fine dining, and then the, like, menu is very, like, kind of bar and grill feel, so it kind of was the best of both worlds, but I feel like it makes sense with freaking Norman and Greg, so it's kind of like, okay, I like it. I'm not mad at it. So yeah, that was really fun. And yeah, so continuing my journey, of course, you know, knock on wood, it hasn't happened yet, but we really are trying to be on the show, at least me. So literally the second that I get to Georgia, I'm going to try and send an email to the casting directors and maybe get in. I actually had someone who was on season 5 follow me on Twitter, and I was like, oh my god. And of course it wasn't a main actor, because then I would actually die. But that I was so excited about, so definitely want to get into contact with people and try to get on the show, seeing as how, again, for those of you who don't know, it's the last season of Walking Dead. And they just started filming this month, so if you're like me and want to get on the show, you need to do that ASAP, because it's coming to a close.
Gotta do it now, don't wait.
Yes. But on top of that, so there was a brief period in time, again, you can ask my mother, she will verify, that literally all I would do, like I'm a big TV watcher, as you can see from me talking about this, I would only watch YouTube videos about fun facts about The Walking Dead. Like I think I did it for 2 weeks straight. That's literally all I watched, and I learned so much. Like I learned they normally, not in COVID times because everybody's schedule got messed up in terms of TV and film, but they start filming the first Monday of May, and they finish around Thanksgiving for the first half. And they're really like a close-knit group, which I actually love, and I feel like that's so rare when it comes to film and TV, because, you know, there's usually a lot of drama and scandal and blah blah blah, but I love that it's very close-knit cast. I really, really, really love that and appreciate that. And they all have a party when someone is killed off. They're like, we love you. I was like, I love that. I want to be a part of something like that. But also another reason I have like a really, really great appreciation for the show is part of me watching all those YouTube videos. I saw Melissa McBride and Norman Reedus talking about, or being interviewed and talking about how, you know, their characters sort of influence them as well as they influence their characters, but also like fan mail they've gotten from, you know, being watched on TV. And one thing I found really inspiring, which is something I've always wanted to do as an actor, even before watching The Walking Dead, was she said, you know, being season 1 in an abusive relationship with this, you know, her husband at the time that was completely awful to her. I think there's a lot of people that struggle with that, and she actually had fans email her and send her mail saying how much, you know, they were able to come out of those really bad situations just from watching her character grow out of that and evolve as time went on. And I thought that was a very beautiful and inspiring thing. And I've always said with my acting, like, and I swear it really is the truth, like, you know, it's not about the money or the fame or anything, but it's about being able to inspire people and being able to, you know, kind of like how people say with music, like it gives you an escape when you don't really have anything else. And I feel like you can do that with TV, you can do that with your acting, and I think it's just such a powerful thing, and people so like very much underestimate it. And like, yeah, I'm like getting all emotional now. But I think it's so true, and that's always something I want to do. And yes, when you have a lot of fame, you can do that on a higher scale, but I feel like no matter what, like that's something people should always strive for when they're in the public eye, even if it's just to a small group. Like you should always, you know, lead to inspire. And I always thought that was really nice. So
yeah, exactly. That's part of the reason why we want to make this video.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's fun. Like Eliza obviously adores and loves Walking Dead. I enjoy it too, and I just love how much she loves it. But we also wanted to show like passion and how you can use your passion.
Yeah.
So like Eliza did, she learned like everything about Walking Dead. Learned who makes it, who you need to contact. So we know right when we get to Georgia who we need to get to try and get her on the show. So
yeah,
that's like the technical side of it. But
yes.
The other side of it is just, you know, the fandom, and so
yes.
yeah, we're excited to watch it, and we hope you guys are too.
Yes. So make sure you watch tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time or 6 p.m. Western or Pacific Time if you're here in California with us. And make sure you stay tuned for the next 5 episodes that are coming up along with season 10. And make sure in October you see the start of the very last season, which I'm very upset at. And hopefully Please make this happen. And plus, I will make sure I'm doing my part and doing a lot of hard work into doing this. Is hopefully you'll get to see me on season 11, even if it's just for us scene. That's really all I want. Like, if you could see my face and it's been like, oh my god, that's Eliza. That's literally all I want. Or like, hopefully, you know, if this doesn't happen, like, I would love to be on one of the spin-offs. If you don't know, the spin-offs are Fear the Walking Dead and The World Beyond. And the Walking Dead movie is coming out soon. And if they haven't started filming it yet, it's another thing I would just love to be on, because Andrew Lincoln's actually going to be in that movie. And I'm just like, oh my god, I need to be in the movie. Like, guys, I am not kidding you. If I ever make it on the show, not only will I feel a sense of validation, because again, I think every single actor on the show is just absolutely phenomenal. Like, I would just cry and my life would be complete. Yeah. But yeah.
I think that pretty much sums it up.
Oh yeah, that pretty much sums up all my fandom. You know, today we just wanted it to be a fun video. Like, yes, we know it wasn't super informative, but of course, you know, if you want any more information, if you're a fan like me, I would be more than willing to either give that to you in the comment section, or if you want a whole nother video, I have no problem talking more about Walking Dead. So yeah, so just let us know, and I hope you enjoyed my rambling about how much I love my favorite show, because I'm sure everyone has a show that they feel this about. So.
Of course. Yeah, that's like, you want to foster that. Like,
yeah, exactly.
When you love something, like, chase it. Don't like run away from it, or like feel like you don't have to like pursue it or whatever.
Yeah. And if you're an actor like me, this just goes to show you, or another example of, if you love a show and you really want to be on it, you really need to make sure you know everything there is to be about that show, because otherwise it's not just going to come to you. You got to make it happen. So.
Yep. So again, be sure to like and subscribe to this video.
Yes.
You know where we're going to be at 6 o'clock our time.
Yes.
Watching the new Walking Dead episode.
Tonight. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
So yes, watch, like, and subscribe, and leave comments if you have any more questions or want to ask Eliza anything about Walking Dead. I'm sure she has the answer. So.
And if not, I will look it up for you.
Exactly. So since you guys watched this video, I had one last little treat, and we've been watching this show, America's Next Top Model, recently, and just for fun, we're gonna give you like a quick pose to end the video.
Oh my god, no you didn't!
And I didn't tell Eliza about that. So
no, and I was like, he told me there's a surprise.
We have to give the people what they want now. Come on. Alright, so bye guys.